everybody, happy Wellness Wednesday. I hope you're doing great. If you worked out with me, I hope you've been recovering and drinking plenty of water. It was a tough workout this morning, but this afternoon, right before lunchtime, I'm going to go over a healthy alternative to a high carb meal, which would be spaghetti. So I don't know if you've ever tried spaghetti squash, but it is very easy to make. It takes about 5 minutes to prep, so that is going to be our wellness tip for the day, how to prep spaghetti squash. So, a few ingredients I have here are my spaghetti squash, and you can get this at any grocery store, Kroger or any other grocery store that's local to you, in the vegetable section. So it's just a nice big yellow squash, and then I have out to make sure it doesn't stick to the pan olive oil. I recommend using a good quality oil like olive or coconut oil or even avocado oil. Try not to use just normal vegetable oil or any soy-based or peanut-based oil products, but if you use olive oil, avocado oil, or coconut oil, those tend to be really good high-quality oils. So have some of that always stocked up in your pantry is another great wellness tip. So to get started, we are going to make sure that you've washed your hands. So I did that right before I got on this video. And then you are going to want to get out a pan, a knife, have your squash ready, and then you're going to want to start by preheating your oven. So to cook spaghetti squash, we do a high temperature of 400 degrees. So start your oven. And let that turn on in preheat, and then you can start to prep your spaghetti squash. So what you are going to need is a knife, and you're going to take your squash, get it on a cutting board or a hard surface, and you're going to cut it right in the middle. So be pretty tough to cut, so just be aware of that. And once you've cut your squash in half, you're going to have two sides of it, and it's going to almost look like a pumpkin on the inside. So to get out all of those squash seeds, what you're going to need is to take a spoon and just kind of carve out the middle. And you can just discard all of the seeds. So that you just have two hollow centers in your squash. So after you have your hollowed out squash, it's pretty simple. It's ready to bake. You're just going to add your olive oil, a little salt and pepper, and then it cooks for quite a long time. It's going to be cooking for about 45 to 50 minutes. So after your squash is prepped, take a little bit of your olive oil, just kind of gently drizzle it onto your squash and rub it around so it gets nice and non-stick. Put a little in the pan, rub it on the insides and all over your pan, and then take a little salt and pepper. Just add a little seasoning to it and season it on the inside. And again, I use Himalayan sea salt, another just great wellness tip and good form of salt to use instead of just normal table salt. And then, so your oven is preheating at 400 degrees. Should be ready after it preheats. You've just prepped your squash, and you're going to take it and turn it upside down. So the rounded edges are up, the flat side is on the pan. You're going to stick it in your oven and bake it for 45 to 50 minutes. It's going to get soft, and when it comes out, it's still going to be inside of the shell. And what you are going to do is take a fork. So making sure it's not too hot when you pick it up, you're going to take your fork, and all you're going to do is scrape the insides, and you're going to see it start to peel off and create little tiny noodles. So all it is squash that just naturally form into noodles, and all that you do is have to take your fork and peel it down. And you can throw that in a bowl. The harder outer shell of the squash obviously is not edible, so you'll just toss that part out. But to prep it, it'll be face down. And then I always like to season mine with additional things. You can use turmeric, which is a great anti-inflammatory. You can use oregano, another great herb. Sometimes I put basil or thyme or rosemary into mine. And then you can season it with like olive oil and herbs, or if you have a favorite spaghetti sauce, you can use that, or any kind of pasta sauce would work, in addition to adding any kind of meat. So sometimes I'd go with shrimp or chicken, but you can add a maybe grass-fed meatball or something along those lines to add inside of your squash, or maybe even vegetables. You can do broccoli or asparagus, any kind of vegetable you might like to just go inside. But this is just the base of that noodle, instead of going for a high carb option like a grain pasta. And then I also just, since I did mention adding sauces, if you do ever add sauces, one thing I always do when I go to the grocery store is look at the ingredients in my sauce. That's not just for pasta sauce, that's pretty much for anything I put in my body. So that's a great wellness tip and habit to get into, is just being mindful of what you're putting in your body. I'm not saying eliminating every single ingredient. You know, you want to go for an 80-20 balance in a diet. So if you focus on having most ingredients without any kind of added sugar, then, you know, on a Friday or Saturday when you're eating your ice cream, that's one time of the week that added sugar has been added into your body, and it's not a frequent occasion of your lunches, which you might not notice your yogurts or your cheeses or your peanut butters or things like that having added sugars. It's limiting all of that so that, you know, you can still have your treats, but then you can still enjoy really good quality food throughout most of your week. That just makes those treats even better. So like I said, I read my ingredients, and this literally has tomatoes, olive oil, garlic, basil, sea salt, oregano, fennel, thyme, and black pepper. And I got this, like I said, at a normal grocery store like Kroger, so you don't even have to go to a all-natural store like Whole Foods or Fresh Thyme or Market District. You can get this at any of your average grocery stores. It's just about taking the time to actually look at that thing. So if you guys have any questions, let us know. If there's anything specific you would like for us to provide you in terms of wellness tips, we are happy to answer any of those questions for you. So like I said, working out is just one part of wellness. We so appreciate that you come into our facility, but we have tons of offerings for programs that help you with wellness, from essential oils classes to cooking classes to meditation classes. So we hope you take advantage of those. We hope you've enjoyed watching our Wellness Wednesday tips, and I hope you actually get out and try it, because it makes a delicious lunch or dinner. Have a great day and keep up the wellness.